Call to order the meeting of the Town of Swanton Selectboard for May 21st, 2024. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please join us. I pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Agenda review.
Oh, I'm never going. Sorry. I guess I'm going first, I'm good.
Okay. Anything?
I'd like to talk about something about community and economic development in regards to a Swanton downtown block party that's being organized.
Okay. I don't have anything to add, Earl.
Probably just do what I talked to you about the other night under C here, just because that's that trustee meeting, possibly.
Yep.
We could add that to the agenda.
Under C, under the new business.
Newtown business, yeah.
Yep. So that's gonna be selling Swanton,
Yes.
promoting Swanton.
Promoting.
And sell it to get enough money.
Brian?
Yeah, I got a few things. First of all, under Newtown Business A, Heather Lavoy from Swanton Historical Society. That has been postponed for this evening. She was not able to make it and she apologized. This will reschedule her. But we're going to, under new business, we're just gonna add an idea from the Swanton Historical Society, just looking for input only. And so that would be, they're calling it a brainstorm idea from the Swanton Historical Society. And it's not in your packet, but I'll hand it out when we get to it. And also under new business, we did receive a draft of the first quarter profit and loss statement for the Swanton Public Library, so I'll distribute that when we get to it, and I'll have some stuff in the executive session.
Okay, in executive session,
Well,
we got real estate to talk
it'll
about.
be real estate personnel, and it's sort of real estate, but it's not ours, but it would be under economic development. But it's.
I just want to make sure we had the
Yeah.
title in there. Okay. So, now we'll move on to the minutes. Regular select board meeting of May 7, 2024. Do I hear a motion?
I can make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Motion been made, second, approve the minutes of May 7, 2024. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Aye. Public comments, this is public comments for anything that is not on the agenda. And I spoke to you two that we actually have a line item to talk about. Okay, under law enforcement, SWAT animal control.
You should have a separate sheet. Came in after the packets were copied. Fairly active for the month of April. Nothing.
What's the first one mean? What's the first one mean? Someone,
Someone shot it.
Shot.
he didn't do it.
No, he didn't, no. It was,
Someone reported a shot.
Somebody,
cat or
and it
something.
was deceased, and so he just microchipped it to see if it had a microchip, but it didn't, so.
Okay.
Do we know anything more about the agency assist for the sheriff?
No.
You haven't heard anything more about the one on 12 Tebow?
No.
But he sent a certified letter.
Yeah.
What was he in violation of?
I believe it was running loose in the neighborhood.
Just at large.
Yeah.
But it was registered and
As
vaccinated.
far as I know, yeah.
Sounds like a few animals out in the balance, more than we've had normally.
Right, yeah, there's been a tick and thing.
Any questions, anything we want Cody to contact Jim about, or Brian to contact Jim about? Alright, hearing none, we'll move on. expenditures. Starting with the general orders. Do I hear a motion? Give me just 1 second. I'll just take a quick peek at the cover on all these. And I think if everybody's good with it, the dates are all the same, so I think we just start out stating that these orders are all from April 17th, 2024 to May 21st, 2024. And we'll go with that. Does someone wanna make a motion to approve the general?
Oh,
I hear a second.
I'll second.
Motion's made, second, to approve the general orders, with the dates that were stated.
and the amount of $314,314.23.
Yes, thank you very much.
Doubled up on some checks this month.
They had a billing with, they had it for, Avenue.
Yeah.
They had a billing issue, so they couldn't bill me until they got it straightened out. And then they billed me.
Anybody have any questions?
That looks to be pretty ordinary.
All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Opposed? So moved. Highway orders for $56,004.44. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to accept the highway orders.
I'll second.
Motion made and second.
Yep, stormwater permits, which ones are those?
Country Club.
Country Club, yeah,
Country Club.
right.
Both
The
those-
existing permit, not the new permits, this is for the
Both those
existing.
bills were for Country Club.
Yeah,
This is actually to Ruggiano for their engineering, right? Or is this?
Yeah.
This isn't an actual paying the permit to the state,
No.
right?
no, but that's for Ruggiano, that's for their engineering work.
Right,
Yeah.
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 Have we got any update of when they're gonna come back with the, I know we had that discussion with the folks and.
Not really, because they were waiting to see what might be vetoed and what might be passed, et cetera. There may be some changes there, but no, they're still plodding away. But if they, even though the permits, the existing permits, when they come up for renewal, we still have to pay those too. So if you ever see that, it's, the state wants their money.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and then we're really gonna start paying with this whole stormwater.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess one thing I would ask is to find out if there's any training for the town. And the engineers, when they talk about it, they're confused. And,
It's very confusing, that's for sure.
as far as whether there's any seminars or anything
Yeah,
for some of
okay.
us to try to
I
understand
haven't seen
this.
anything come through, but
Right,
there's been a bunch of training going on. In fact, Kevin signed a couple of the guys up for chainsaw training tomorrow. Those types of training, but nothing for stormwater.
yeah,
so.
especially because some of this has dates and
Yeah.
some fines are
Right.
gonna be there if this
Right,
stuff
that's
isn't
right.
on
So-
track.
We'll check it out, see if there's anything coming up. If there isn't, maybe we can suggest that they have some.
There you go. If there's no other thoughts or concerns, all those in favor say aye.
Alright,
Aye.
Aye. So, special orders for the amount of $21.50.
Breaking the bank. I'll make the motion to accept the special orders for the amount of $21.50.
okay, this is, I'll second it, but, you're calling it special order because we no longer have ARPA funds, right?
That's right.
Okay, alright. But you're still keeping track of this the same
Oh,
as
yes.
before? Okay,
Just with a new title.
yep.
All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Library orders for $5,483.91.
That pump they put in, well, I'll move to approval.
You second.
I'll second. Sorry.
Motion been made and seconded.
Go back to my question, that new pump and installation, that was to go into the stormwater, right?
No,
think that's the toilet.
that was the
Downstairs.
sewer
Yes.
pump, the sewer pump.
Yeah.
Oh, another drain issue, that is, was that another pump to hook into the,
No, that was rerouting the existing
That was
pumps.
for the
into-
pipe.
That's for the
Okay.
pipes.
Yeah, it's the work that
The work that
Kevin
Kevin
did.
and the guys
Yeah.
did, you know.
Everybody good?
Yep.
All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
before we move off from the library, there was an email from Abby about must be gonna be doing some planting.
Some planting and, yeah, work.
And she requested that some dirt or be removed, I don't,
Or, well, fixed up somehow better than what it is, so. I don't, did you talk to Kevin?
Yeah, he's gonna take a look, and I
Yeah.
just told him, quite a bit going on, so if
Yeah.
we can make it happen, I think they could put the bucket on the small tractor and go down there and help them out. I
Yeah.
just, whenever I hear it's just gonna be an hour, I
Yeah.
know it's never just an hour, but
usually not.
it'll be nice, there's been a lot of stuff to improve, so.
Yeah,
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 and it
must be-
will certainly look better, because I was
Yeah.
over there today.
Yeah,
Yeah, and everybody else answered up on the email, they
Yeah.
were, thought it was a good idea, so. Highway general payroll for $46,097.06.
I'll make a-
It's highway in general.
He did say
Oh,
that.
I missed it. I missed it.
I'll make that motion
I missed one thing that's in there.
to approve the highway and general payroll orders in the amount of $46,097.06.
yeah, I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Everybody good? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Library payroll for $13,341.31.
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Oh, that's.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the library payroll orders. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, I think we got them all. Now we will move on to highway department. Few updates, the Mack dump truck, I want to start that. Had to buy 3 new batteries, the batteries should be here tomorrow. A new plow dump truck, has not gone to Viking yet, so I asked Kevin to call and see if we can get a date. The, tractor with the side mower, waiting on the tire, which should be, installed at the beginning of the week, and we'll be out there and start doing some roadside mowing. Some of the work, that's been accomplished the last couple of weeks, they went over, and if you haven't seen it, did a real nice job of cleaning up all the stumps in the LVRT.
It looks beautiful.
Looks real good.
They have been out sweeping, they bent the, caster in the front of the sweeper, and ridiculous price for that. Kevin was able to heat it, straighten it out, and buy a hub, $60 versus a couple grand for the cleaning parts were gonna be. So nice job there. They've been out on Church Road prepping for paving. They have continually been going up the Swanton Hill Road. They thought they had all the beavers taken care of. No, the beavers are back. I had to chase them out today and clear some material. Did a site visit up on Swanton Hill Road, to take a look. One thing we talked last meeting and we approved was East Engineering contingent upon the meeting, which is set up for Friday with the other property owner. But I'm interested, and after Kevin and I looked at it, Kevin told me today, when he was driving up there again, one consideration, and we'll talk to Tyler about, is to actually drop the existing road versus coming straight over the hill. And there's a couple reasons why that might be a better alternative, as long as we can keep traffic while we're doing it. And that's one thing I don't quite know without talking to the blasting folks, but I think it's worth looking at. So, unless someone has any objections, we'll take a look at that. Little disappointment down on McQuam Shore Road, the new culvert. It's a 3-section culvert, and the middle and the western sections, the band that holds it together, apparently, for some reason, that joint is open, and we had to go down and patch right at the white line on the road temporarily, and Scott came and took a look at it, and we're gonna open it up in the next week or two and see what we can do to fix that, because that is not good. Mentioned earlier about the trees that came down today, those have all been pushed off the road, just heard from Kevin before we started the meeting. One other thing, we're gonna meet on Brooklyn Street tomorrow with the wetlands coordinator to see if we can work on that ditch that we want to install, so we can unhook the storm sewer in the sanitary. Next 4 weeks, line striping, we're gonna work on getting a contract for line striping and getting prices now from the 2 contractors we usually use. Continue prep for paving, doing some ditch work, roadside mowing, I mentioned already. Bushy Road, we need to replace the culvert as well. So, if someone's got any questions, that's what's going on right now with the highway department. Now, the next item, just to talk about the highway contract. I guess I'm gonna let you start right off, Earl, and, because we only got 3 members, we got an issue now, and so.
Yes, I have Hungerford's gonna pave my driveway. That in mind, because he bid on this, actually is a little better if you're just looking at the numbers. I don't feel I should be part of this discussion. And I'm not really comfortable voting because people could perceive that I would have a conflict of interest.
Okay, and my one thing, because now you've explained that, is if you compare tonnage, because until we do the work, we're not gonna know the exact tonnage, so if you compare the tons at 5,001, Pike is a little better, and if you compare it at 5380, which was Pike's estimate, Pike is still a little better. It's all related to the cold planing that took place. It would take 22,000 tons, which we don't have anywhere near that money, before Hungerford would become the low bidder. So, when we really look at the work that's being done, they are lower on the price per ton, but if you look at the quantities that we're talking about and you use the same quantity for both, they are not a little better. And if you still feel uncomfortable, then we'll have to postpone this.
I do, because I feel a little bit different than that. We had this discussion last year, that's why.
Last year, we didn't have cold planing in the bidding.
I know, but it came out the same way, sort of.
No, we didn't, because
It was close, and, you know, now, nobody knows how much it's gonna take, that's a damn problem. But, I guess we rely on the people that bring the bids in, their estimates.
yeah, their estimate is an estimate until they get out there, the whole shipment and everything.
Yeah. So I understand they're out of the ballpark because of the planning, but, if it came out to the way they bid it, it would actually cost the town less money. There's no way of saying 2 guys are gonna pave it the same way. But like I say, I'm out of it.
And then the other piece, I just wanna make sure the public all understands, is we have a certain dollar figure that we go up to, so the amount of tonnage each one would put down would be the same.
Yeah.
So that equalizes it right there, whether it's 5,001 or
Yeah.
5,380, we have a certain dollar figure we stop at, so everyone will, it'll be the same.
Can I add something?
Just a second, Joe.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let the board members discuss this and then we'll open it up. So. Nicole?
I mean, it's definitely, when the numbers are so close, I feel that it definitely is a tough decision, as they're both, you know, local companies. I think they're both reputable. I've certainly seen roads done by Pike, and they certainly seem to have a lot of experience, where, you know, Hungerford is not somebody whom I've seen out more often. So I can make a motion tonight, but if it's just you and I voting.
Right, that presents an issue. Unless we're comfortable about the 2-to-1, but because we don't have that
We
clear.
don't have it clear in our
Yeah.
procedures.
Procedure,
Actually,
so-
it's not 2-1, it's 2-0, because I'm abstaining.
Well, then it's two votes.
Yeah, you got 2
Yeah.
votes,
Right, because,
because you don't have more, the other members here, I understand, and you don't know for sure how that would work. If it's a majority of the board that's here, don't
Yeah.
know.
According to Robert's rules, the board should make that decision when you do the organization. That's what constitutes a quorum.
we
which
will put that
hasn't
on
been
our
done.
next meeting's
Next,
agenda item,
right.
and we will have a clear
We'll have a clear-
method for doing that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe?
Yeah, so, just a couple things, as far as unit prices, milling is a unit price too, and I was way lower on milling. As Joel stated, there's no way that Hungerford could come close to doing the work cheaper than me. As a Swanton Town taxpayer, there's a difference, at best, he can do it for $5,000, more than me. Worst case scenario, if we use Whitcomb's numbers, he's $7,000 lower than me. And like I said, as a Swanton Town taxpayer, to me, it's a no-brainer. That's all I've got to say about that.
All right, appreciate that. Did not know we were gonna have a couple board members absent tonight,
Yeah,
or
that's
we
fine.
could have this completed, but.
It happens.
Okay.
Can we table it and have a special meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. When would you like?
Let's see if we can set it up for Friday.
Okay, Friday at
And, we got the meeting at
8:30,
so 9:15.
Okay, we'll get the
We need
word
a
out.
motion to table that.
Yes, I would.
I'll make a motion to table it until Friday, 9:15.
Okay.
You get second
Nick,
time?
you second that motion, I think.
Yeah.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Fine.
Aye.
Aye.
Good with it? Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you guys, appreciate what you do.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Old Town Business, naming
Yeah.
streets off Highgate Road for E911.
We had to revisit this.
Is there a passcode to get
So-
into the meeting?
The development of Highgate Road that we discussed at the last meeting, when I spoke to the St. Albans Post Office, the people that I talked to see if there's like names, because that's where they deliver mail, she said no, but I would caution you against it. Because we were talking about Fairfield. Well, in further digging, I discovered that not even a mile of the road off Excavation Drive in Highgate is Deer Yard, and it's a St. Albans Post Office. So my suggestion, it's up to you, would be do Wilderness Way, north and south. Then Kevin can sign at the street, Wilderness Way, and then put north and south sign.
that work for 911?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
But do
And we have what, 2 or 3 on one side and,
There's 4 on one side, 3 on the other side.
right, I don't know, I'm comfortable with that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, if it-
Alright,
I'll make a motion to accept the proposed changes to the development off of Highgate Road to be Wilderness Way, north and south.
I'll second it.
motion's been made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? So moved. Update on water sewer service in Southern Growth Center.
Yeah, I can be very brief. I did speak with Tim Smith, and he had relayed a conversation he had with Dominic Clow. I'll go with sewer first, because that's what we originally were asking. And, I mean, they probably have the capacity, that's not a problem, but what Dominic said that they would have to look into was the contract they recently signed with the town of St. Albans, that they may have to get their okay before, because they had the sewer service and the water service tied in with the police question, and so he doesn't want to upset that contract, he just has to check with that.
Yeah. But there's an ace in the hole here. St. Albans Town has some land out there.
That's right, which they could, but, you know, and that they would get it in there, but they probably won't say, well, you can't send it to Swan. I don't know, he's gonna have to check into that.
But they almost gotta go through Swan to get there, that's the problem.
Well, that's,
So, one of the things we need
yeah.
to work together with the
yeah,
other.
well, and
towns,
I
yeah.
think, you know, we've always, you
Yeah.
know, gotten along well with town of St.
Yeah.
Albans as far as I know,
Yeah.
so. And on the water, because there is an 8-inch main already in there now, but there could be some concern as further and further development, whether that 8-inch, you know, is it really gonna have the pressure? Because the more you put on it.
Right.
And so they would have to probably take a look at that, and may have to have pump stations or something of that nature if we wanted additional water there, but they'd have to work on that. So it's possible for both of them, but they still have a lot of research to be done, and then on the water comes the question is what to maintain the pressure.
Okay, and to me, some of the water is gonna depend on the development and.
Right,
the
that's right.
Requirements
Yeah.
for the development,
Yeah.
the sewer issue though, I think is one, then.
Could probably be addressed fairly
Did
quickly.
Dominic say he would talk with the town or?
Yeah, they would check in, he'd check their contract, he'll check with the town and let us know.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay, wood water now, Cummings,
Yeah,
I think he said something about it'd be nice if there was water available.
right, yeah.
Is it possible that he could, if he wanted to make the investment, that he could get approved to hook onto that water that's going up there now?
Again, if the city would be okay with it, if he wanted to make the investment, but that would be between him and the city.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should notify him that there might be a possibility. I mean, either that or find out and see if it would be possible.
Right. Okay.
Because that would send a pretty clear message that at least there's something that can be done.
Mhm. Okay, I can get hold of him and just let him know what we've had
Yeah,
today. But
just to
we'd
see if
be
he's
looking at-
interested, and he
yeah,
might be able to make a request.
yeah.
Jesus.
He may have had, I understood him at one time say that he had some conversations with the city about getting water, so maybe he knows something that, maybe they'd already told him that. But I'll check with him. and
Yeah,
find
check
out.
with him.
Yeah,
You know, and then maybe now that because there is at least a somewhat of an 8-inch line might be adequate for what he's doing up there. Maybe it ain't, but be worth checking into.
see, when they said they were putting the water main in, and I thought at one point, originally, they said 10-inch, and I figured, okay, good, but then they came back and said 8-inch. I don't know about that. you know, it depends, we won't have the crystal ball to know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is gonna take place up there.
Right, and for the majority of the usage, I think it's probably okay, it's the ability to fight a fire when you're
And you're
such a
talking some-
distance and,
Big buildings up
Right.
there.
yeah, they may,
You know.
yeah, that could present
Yeah,
some issues.
yeah.
Well,
I guess I gotta ask the question, is that water line belong to the, is the state putting it in and then it's gonna belong to the city?
Yeah, I don't know who owns it.
Yeah, I just heard
yeah.
you kinda say the city water line, but I was wondering.
Yeah, it's city water, I'm not sure
Right.
who actually owns the line.
Yeah, I would imagine that state would want city to have it at some point, just if something happens to it, but.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and they already, I guess, informed the city, the National Guard will, if they build, they're gonna hook onto that line.
Signed the land contract yesterday, I found out.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it's.
things are
well,
moving.
Depending on federal funds for the
Right.
building itself, but apparently they signed the contract for the land yesterday, I was told. Okay,
All right.
new town business.
No, we had soil testing, Fourth Street.
No, I'm sorry, yes.
In your packet is the preliminary test for the Fourth Street soil test that we received. It's identified some further contaminants. Not exactly sure, and they're gonna require, you know, some of the soils are regulated and will require management, excavation, disposal, and or capping during redevelopment in the areas detailed in the update site plan and the report. And we'll know more when we get the primary, but we're looking at some, you know, certainly some additional work. And I'll admit that a lot of this contamination that they've identified is all Greek to me. I'm not sure what, where it would have come from, or,
I think I understand this right, what, this is just a preliminary thing, they done
Yeah.
some tests, and now they're saying they gotta go back and make sure they do all this area, and then they're gonna finalize their plan,
right, as to what is gonna need to be done to remediate that.
so they still have to do more testing before they give us a plan.
They have to, basically, when they get the final, this is the preliminary, when they get the final, they have to send that to the state. And the state will determine whether it's, you know, is gonna, this is good enough, or do they have to do further tests, and then they'll have to come up with a plan on how to, or a suggestion on how to remediate it.
Yeah, this is just identifying that there's some contamination
there.
before any cleanup.
That's
They would
right.
have to go out and put in and define the actual limits.
Mhm.
Like, you know, it talks about SB 109, so they
Yeah.
exceeded the standard.
Mm-hmm,
So when you see where 109 is located, they would have to figure out what is the actual limits of the contamination, and then what is gonna be the method to remove it, and that all has to get approved by the state before anything happens. Yeah, this is gonna be a while.
and then if we could figure out where this contamination came from, if it was not something associated with an operation of the town garage,
Okay, all right.
we may be able, then could qualify possibly for brownfields money. But, you know, they're gonna have to figure that out too.
Vanadium, all borings depths exceeded residential standard. Yeah,
Yeah.
and what we haven't asked the consultant, I don't think, is to use this as ball fields versus residential. What is the standard they
Right.
use?
And I can ask them that.
Yeah, that would be nice to know, because they get the residential and then they get the non-urban background, but if we tell them that we're looking for sports fields, does that change the equation? And I got a feeling it's not going to. If it's not good enough for housing, I can't imagine they're
I
gonna
can't,
want kids running around.
yeah, I can't either, I mean, you're probably gonna have to,
Running
But-
around.
before we get wicked excited, you know, they're already, we have some of these same issues at the Robin Hood site, and they did capping and this and that, it wasn't the end of the world.
No, I know.
No,
No, it's just, it's the long process to
the
get
long
there,
process,
and then,
yeah.
you know, Captain could run into some money. Yeah.
Or you could, dispose of it in a proper site, but we're gonna be paying some money, that's for sure.
Oh, for removal and disposal?
Yeah.
Depending on
Yeah,
Sometimes some of that can be used for landfill cap versus
Yeah.
a special place just to bury it. All depends on what, yeah, it's gonna take a while. It's already taken quite a while, but, Nicole, do you have any questions?
now, the contract we have with this company, they're supposed to finish this to the plan.
Bring it up to the plan, so how to take care of it.
Okay. Alright, so we won't have to spend any more money for that.
Hope not, no.
They'll be, I guarantee it's just gonna be some general
Yeah.
suggestions. The actual remediation
Is gonna
going
be
through
more
that
involved,
is gonna, oh yes.
yeah. Oh,
This- This will come up with maybe what some.
Oh, yeah, I know, we're gonna spend a lot of money, or we don't know how much, but it'd be more, but I didn't know if we were gonna have to spend more money to get this, consultant to finish the plan, but no, it's all part of the contract we have with him. He's gonna have us a plan that we can present to the state for approval.
For what's there.
Yes.
Okay, and then they will, if they, and then they will get back to us,
Yeah.
and that was they give us a suggestion for remediation.
Yeah,
Yeah, it won't be
And
what
that's
I
it.
would consider
It won't
a
actually
plan.
be the plan.
No, it's gonna
Very-
be, here's
very general.
contamination with
Right,
some possible
This is-
ways to,
right, yeah,
and then the next step,
yeah. If you want us to take and do that, then they'll have to,
you know, feasibility study and all. And do a few of those.
and hopefully they'll have some cost numbers with their
yeah,
general
they'll have a
rough cost, yeah,
estimate.
yeah, okay.
We'll ask for one, put it that way.
I'll do something with
Anything else on the soil testing?
No.
All right, we'll move on to Newtown business. A has been postponed. Item B is bridge closure and traffic on South River Street and Dee Road. Wanted to get this on the line item, and we got a couple of residents here who live on those roads that have some concerns. I was at the village meeting last Monday, and it just became more apparent to me how big a deal this is for South River Street and DB Road in terms of safety of the residents getting in and out of their driveways, in terms of traffic flow, in terms of our roads, and they are gonna get beat up in 4 weeks with the amount of heavy trucks that are gonna go through there. We got an issue with the railroad crossing, trying to get that looked at by the railroad before they start work, or before they start traveling on it, and have that all break up.
The railroad crossing on BB.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, couple thoughts is, I think we need to go back to the village and request police coverage. You know, for certain hours, in the morning hours, and how busy that's gonna be, and out of blue light or something to slow traffic down, it's gonna be very bad, and, you know, we have our own police later in the afternoon, maybe, they spend more time there, but I think that there should be a conversation with the village. I'm just throwing that out there, we can have some discussion here in just a minute. I asked Brian to get a list, and Christina's already made it, addresses of all the residents on those two roads, and I want to prepare a letter, if everyone's good with that,
Yep,
to all the residents,
absolutely.
stating this work is taking place, just making sure they know about it, giving them the village point of contact, because we don't know for sure whether it's starting July 8th or not, and who knows, that could change several times between now and then, and
yeah.
the village should answer that, not the town, but to give that information to the
Yeah.
folks in that area.
The other
And,
suggestion I have is that we have a special, you know, when you go to the Swanton website, there'll be something you can click on right there to go to, bridge schedule. You know, either in the town or, so if anybody wants to get updated to what,
Village project, they'll have to give it.
what's that?
It's a village project, they would
I
have
know,
to give
but
it to us.
still, people, it's gonna affect people in the town.
I think we could ask the village to do that.
They must have on their
I
website.
mean, they maintain their side of the website,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah,
on
so
the
we-
town side too.
It should
It
be
should
right
be
on the
right
front
on the
page.
front
Front
Yeah,
page,
right on the
everybody
front.
can see it.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that can be done fairly easily, and that would help with the date change, and again, we can get that info out in the
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a lot of other great thoughts.
Well-
I'm gonna let the board members here in just a second, and then I'm gonna let you guys speak up, because I know you've both spoken to me, and some real concerns there, and that's, the board needs to hear that.
The other thought that I had, of course, we don't have control over this, but if there was some kind of, one of those signs noting that the village, you know, through track, maybe we could get a few of the trucks to go down Route 2, if they don't have to come in this area and they're just headed, just connecting on 89 to head south. I don't know if we could get some help from the state to put one of those signs, you know, at the four corners there, because it might help, it might not, but that's one other way to try to eliminate, cut down on the truck traffic.
And to put the sign also on the interstate.
Yes.
South of 17.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's, I think the village should make that request to the state.
yeah, that's something that we can discuss when we meet with them.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's- anything we think we can do
Yes,
to minimize traffic and help this situation, because
yeah,
again, this is maybe 4 weeks, and it doesn't sound like a lot. It's gonna be hell for people that have to deal with that.
yeah.
Well, last Friday, at 8 o'clock in the morning, the state decided to wash the bridge down here. And they had one lane closed. It was backed up for miles, for about a half hour.
Yeah.
And that, people were livid. You know, they took that time to do it, so.
One accident out there that closes that road for a few hours is
Oh,
going,
they will,
that's gonna
it will be
block
accidents.
everything up through here.
that's right,
Yep.
definitely.
So we've got letter to the residents, meeting with the village. They probably are meeting Monday, right, coming up? Or
No,
because
no.
it's the end of the month.
No,
No,
they're-
then it's Memorial Day.
It's Memorial Day, I think.
It'll be the week after probably,
Yeah,
right? Don't they meet the
probably.
first and the
The
third?
first and the third.
So can you speak to the village about getting on their agenda to have this discussion?
So Earl, I wanna show you where the village has posted it, but I can ask them to move it. So if you go to the village, their welcome page, there's their bridge work info.
Yeah,
But what we could do, we could ask them,
to put it here,
can they put it on the homepage?
yeah.
Does it say a date yet? I'd heard 8 July.
Actually, their meeting would be it's the 10th. We're gonna
10th.
be there.
It says
uh,
immediate
No,
work
the
meeting,
meeting.
Talk about
full
that
closure
anyway.
14th
They're
to
the
the
second
20th.
and the fourth. I think they're skipping the meeting.
That's right,
here,
we're
so-
first and third, yes.
Right.
Sometime between July 8th and August 19th.
For 14 to 20 days.
Okay, so they don't even have, yeah, I'd heard 8, okay, so there's the, letter to the village, additional police resources and signs.
Yeah,
So that sign would be closer to Alberg, right? Can we get them, you
Yeah.
said?
well, you got the
Say the
four
four
corners for
corners.
78 ends and comes into 2 right
Right.
there,
Right there.
Yeah.
yeah. Somewhere before that, so,
Yeah, and then you said down,
Prior to exit 17.
yeah,
So they can
that's
take
right.
17 and go north.
That's right, especially if they're headed west,
Right.
or going back to the port of Montreal,
Right.
they don't really need to come
That's
out.
right. That's
Right.
right.
You know, and there still are gonna come, jump over to 15 or whatever it is there in Champlain, because they don't have that interstate all the way through yet.
right,
It's not done.
right.
They ain't got that last bridge done.
No, it'd be nice to have that done and a
Yep.
bigger facility to handle them coming through, and that would make a lot of that through
Yeah.
traffic go
Yeah.
away. All right, gentlemen?
Biggest thing is the speed from the bridge heading south. It's a 30-mile-an-hour zone. We're not even at bridge shutdown at this point. And there are vehicles going through there, not even close to 40, but probably closer to 50, in the 30. And we don't even have 40 until you get past the museum by probably 300 yards. We haven't even got to the bridge shutdown yet. That's where we've been for, I can't tell you how long. It's been years. I never see a police officer over there, ever, never. These cars are going at least 10, probably closer to 20 over the speed limit. And I can just imagine what it's gonna be once we get to that bridge shutdown. Now, maybe congestion is gonna slow them down, I don't know. But this is just what I'm seeing prior to the bridge shutdown. It happens every day, every evening, more on the weekends. Go up there and sit at the museum any time of the day. Give it about a half an hour, you'll see somebody going through there at least 40, sometimes 50 in a 30. And you've got a crosswalk
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned too, is
on that corner to go across from the museum to the bridge.
that gets a lot of traffic there.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Guarantee it. Just gonna be a matter of time.
My biggest thing is living where I live, you know, we got at least 3 blind driveways. And, you know, I drive truck, I have for over 20 years, and I would hate to be going down that road and meet another tractor and trailer, and then have bicyclists coming off the bridge, riding down that road,
And farm equipment too.
you know? And my biggest thing is this, the truck traffic on that road now is the same people who drive it and have for years, so they know the road. But we're gonna have all these out-of-state trucks coming. It ain't gonna know them little S curves and where the blind driveways are. And, you know, the chip trucks coming from New York, they're over 100,000 pounds,
And they've already took it over.
you know? They ain't stopping as quick as, and it's just, the bridge has gotta be fixed, I mean, and that's the easiest way to go, but there's gotta be something set to help us that live on that road as far as not having to worry about getting cream pulling out of our driveways.
No, they're talking about the amount of money they're saving by doing it the way they're doing it. And to me, I almost see where there should be during the day, there should be a police car parked there.
Yep.
With lights flashing. You see it on the interstates when they're doing work, there's a blue light in an area that's really bad. And to me, that cost should be absorbed as part of the project, because they are saving big bucks by closing it down this way, instead of like doing night work and stuff, and doing all the traffic control themselves instead of the contractor doing it.
I mean, that's I believe that's a 24,000 pound road. And, like I said, I could, the road getting tore up is down here, you know. My kids pulling out of my driveways up here.
Yeah, safety of the individuals.
And, I mean, it's the out-of-state trucks, I mean, they're just, they don't know that little crooked road, they're not. And like I said, as a truck driver, you know, a lot of us, and I'm a bad import, we got every foot. And, you know, going down to that little road, you know, without something there to make sure they're, you know.
Yeah, to me, we should request the speed limit be put to 30.
All the way down.
All the way to at least BB.
And we don't have any line striping there either.
And that should be done pretty soon, but
Is
Yeah.
that on the list of roads?
It's not.
Because that's a good point.
that one's usually striped by the state.
Yeah, we better talk to Kevin about
You
that.
know, our road crew is awesome, every couple of
Yeah.
years, they go down and they trim, you know, right before they get to, where I live, you know, a couple times, you know, every couple of years, they're down there trimming the trees back, try to make it the best they can, so, you know, because of the corner, and, I mentioned it to Kevin, and he said he was gonna make a point to go down that road and trim back what they can trim to try to,
What about one of those speed, that register your speed? Went up to Canada last week, they don't fool around up there. If you're over the speed limit, danger. It's flashing on there, right? I don't think you can get one of them unless we go up and steal it, but, at least have one out there. And I think we should go with the 30 mile all the way to Beebe Road, all the way there, 30 miles. And, you know, see if we can get them to slow down, because those things do catch your attention. You know, if you're going 40 and you know it's 30, well, then you know, it makes you think. Because sometimes people are just driving along and they don't realize they're going that speed, you know?
and I said that the people that ride bikes on that road, and now you're gonna have all them tractors.
Oh my God.
You know, they come off that bridge and then they take a left and they head down South River.
Oh, I tremble right now, the more I think of it.
Yeah, and I didn't pay much attention to it until it dawned on me that,
And-
wow, all them out-of-state trucks are, you know, like I said, the truck traffic that's on there now, I mean, they're respectable, I mean, they're not flying, but like I said, they're the ones that have driven it for years, they know the road.
Right, and then there's and I don't remember the date right now, but I think the state's having a public hearing on 2029
That's
bridge closure, and what are the concerns, and I'm thinking, there's no way you can close that bridge down for a year.
No.
That road in the winter, no.
No, it would take some significant investment in order for that to happen. I mean, they did it, I mean, they built a temporary bridge over in the Grand Isles. I mean, this route was just as important or more important than Route 2, so,
Yeah, you know, I mean, and then when everybody hears the bridge is closed, not everybody thinks ahead and says, hey, I'm gonna leave my house early, you know? Well, they're gonna be going faster to get where they're going on time and, you know.
Faster, uglier, and paying less attention.
You know,
And
it's just,
Yeah.
nobody, you know, nobody plans ahead to leave their home early to get to where they're going because of the truck hit.
So I think we need to meet on the 10th and really lay these concerns out with the
Yeah.
village and see what they're gonna do to help us out, because
Yeah,
it's all part of Swanton, the whole thing, but it's got a big impact regarding the town. We got concerns for the safety of our citizens, and we need to have the discussion and do what we can.
Right.
Just one other thing that you guys brought up, I don't know which one of it, but maybe we should try to make some kind of improvements for that crosswalk too, to make it more visible. Maybe we got some leverage to get some state funding, because this is important for the state, this roadway. Maybe we can get one of them flashing lights up there.
We can ask, it's a question
Does
of
it work?
getting
Yeah.
it installed.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we should, be part of it too.
Yeah, there's a lot of families use that crosswalk right
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
A lot of people park in the museum,
Yeah.
and go across the
And I
bridge and use
expect that
that
to
fit
increase.
pass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Path, yeah.
And I mean, and that's, I mean, that's the only way to send the traffic, but I mean, you know, even if it takes a cop to sit there on that road in different spots all day long, then that's what it's gonna take.
That's what I think it should
Like
be.
you said, you do it on the interstate.
Yeah.
I think it should be done. I mean, it just, to me, it's a no-brainer that people understand, most people understand the blue light, and,
And
yes.
just put, you know, I see signs everywhere, speeding, you know, will be strictly enforced. I mean, and it's just gonna have to be for that 20 days. I mean, speeding is speeding
You can't,
on that road for that 20 days.
you can't have a reduced cost for one side of the bridge to the detriment of the safety of the people on the other side. I mean, we're all
Mhm.
Swanton, right?
Yeah. So I fully agree, guys, and
We just gotta,
I would recommend too, as you pass the word out, and I think some people should show up on the 10th, so that we'll be the ones talking with the village, but you know, some input from the residents too, that have some very legitimate concerns would be good.
like I said, man, I think everything will go smoothly if we can just figure out a way to make sure everybody's gonna go slow.
Right.
Yep,
You know, the
that's
big
what.
truck, especially the big trucks, I mean, 'cause, you know, they don't stop quick, you know.
Yeah, and there's the curves and the blind spots.
Yeah, I mean, and they tip over on 78, I mean, what are they gonna do on that little narrow road?
Well, if there's blue lights behind a big truck, sends a message. If they pull over on the side, there's people going by, they talk to everybody else.
Okay,
Well, thank you for listening.
yes.
Thank you for sharing your concerns.
Thank you very much.
I agree with you.
See ya.
And Earl wanted to talk about if we meet with the village, which we're agreeing to, is to also, talk to them about promoting, maybe brainstorm a little bit about promoting Swanton and promoting, you know, the LVRT and some different things as we get closer. Start that conversation
Yeah.
on how we do that, and how do we work as a team between the village and the town to help promote ourselves.
Yes, you know, just thinking about this, Swanton really does have a lot to offer.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful place.
You know, and I think if we, marketing is extremely important. You know, aesthetics are extremely important, and we need improvements in those areas, but we've got enough going on right now that we can make Swanton look pretty attractive, because it is. And this Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, you must, was that, I didn't get the last 7 days, cause I was
No,
on it.
yeah, I don't remember when I got it, it's a couple months ago,
Okay. This is what, we gotta do something like this.
St. Johnsbury's
If we
doing an
don't-
incredible job.
We're not gonna get a lot of people to come here. And I think if we get people to come here, they're gonna see what we all see, or most of us. But right now, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of different committees, you know, and maybe there ought to be some kind of clearinghouse, type committee that works with the rest of them, you know, to promote. 3 goals would be, the first goal would be to get something put together, or some kind of brochure that, you know, it'll be, we're doing it for the rail trail, but we can use it in other places too, to attract people here. And I think the other thing, long-term goal is the aesthetics, you know, and it could be things like looking at different signs in the downtown area. Maybe some of the things they put on the telephone pole, this is what I see in other communities, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can do that don't cost millions of dollars, that are gonna, make someone who's not from Swanton driving through say, hey, it's a pretty good place, maybe I'll stop here. You know, especially now we got new businesses coming in, you know, and we have a lot of them that would really benefit, that people would, I think, would be attracted to. You know, even the existing ones like Divine Treasures, that's something that somebody could on the rail trail, just stuff, cause they have some unique stuff in there. Vision's Nutrition, well, I mean, after you ride a bicycle, you gotta get something to pump you back up. And then we have our existing restaurants and plus the new ones. Now, the village has made a big, quite a bit of improvements around the, Marble Mill. You know, what about a picnic area down there that people would go to? These are things that we could promote that would get people on the rail trail to come here. Maybe they'll go back to St. Albans to sleep at night, but at least they'll have hit Swanton because, you know, we tried to promote ourselves. Because if we don't, I just don't see it happening. I really don't.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think we have a lot of really awesome marketable assets. I know there has been preliminary conversations. Darcy Benoit, who is the lead on the Economic Development Committee for the Swanton Enhancement Project, has started to draft a plan. I don't want to talk about it because it's her plan, but I think the objective there is to not only support our downtown businesses with some advertising and promotion, but also just the community at large. I know at the rec department, we do have a campaign that we're working on to promote the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail more. Definitely the support from the town and the village. I think it's a conversation that we all need to have together.
Well, there needs to be someone who's working with all these other things that are going on to make sure, you know, we get it done.
Mm-hmm.
We need, I believe it needs to have a direct connection to both boards.
Mm-hmm.
So that means one member of the select board, one member of the trustees should have to be a member of that working group. That way they can come here for the board, so everybody knows what's going on. And, you know, I'm Chamber of Commerce, obviously, then you're talking about the Swanton Enhancement people, you know, a representative there, so everybody knows what's going on. And maybe, more than likely, when it gets all done, we'll come up with a better way of getting it done and quicker because we all know what we're doing. Right now, we don't know what we're doing a lot of times, you know.
So, I mean, if I could, I'd just kind of transition into what I wanted to add under community and economic development. So today, trustee Susie Kelleher met with myself, Abby Gaudette, and Darcy Benoit to talk about a block party down in the Merchants Row area of the downtown during the bridge closure. And one of the things, you know, that we heavily talked about was other ways that we can continue to promote our community and specifically during the time of the bridge closure, supporting the community with recreation, assets from the library and supporting our downtown businesses. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight is something that the Swanton Enhancement Project, I believe, was in relations with the chamber, started a Shop Local Swanton program. This was a few years back during COVID to really encourage folks in the downtown business. So one of the ideas that we had as we were sitting there brainstorming was to bring the Shop Local Swanton back, turn it into Downtown Bucks, and then to promote it during the Swanton's first downtown block party, essentially. And so, you know, it kind of knocks off on all of those things. It's a way to continue to promote our community. It's a way to market and advertise ourselves, but it's also a way to build community engagement as well as help boost the downtown businesses. So one of the things that we were talking about, there is a line item in the budget for town celebration, and I think there's no better way to celebrate ourselves is by sharing a little bit with everybody in the community and then to help support those downtown businesses. And I thought it might be a really unique way to use some of those funds this year is to bring back the Shop Local Swanton program, support residents from the town and the village to get out and you know, really activate that downtown space during a time where, you know, there's things going on with the bridge, things are gonna be a little bit slower. So I wanted to bring that to you guys tonight. But I agree, you know, it's all in the marketing, and if we had one centralized place to really market and advertise all of these things, I think we've got some really wonderfully underutilized assets that we're.
And I think one of the real underutilized for a marketing standpoint is our website. I mean, there's a lot of information about what's going on in Swanton, but it's not really highly promoted, you know, it's not really promoted.
It's still new.
I know, but this would be something that, you know, somebody needs to take charge and find out a way, because I'm sure there's ways we could promote better on there.
Sure.
But somebody, you know, it needs to, what I'm saying is if we're gonna get it done, I think you're gonna have some kind of group that's gonna be involved with that, seeing how these things get done.
We have a meeting on the 4th, before we would meet with the village.
Yeah.
For the meeting of the 4th, do you think you two could sit down and just kind of outline
Yeah.
some of the bullets of
Yeah.
what we would like to, like we would like to propose with the village and who, you know, some of the names, you know, we have Mackey Council. and
Yeah,
Sap
so we got all,
So,
the-
you know,
we
we'd have
got
a
a
list
lot.
about 10 different
Yeah.
groups that we think
Yeah.
should all help us try to figure out how to promote Swanton.
Yeah,
And if we had that, then we would be ready for the next week to have that discussion.
with the village trustees.
Yeah, would that work?
Yes, that would work good.
Now, as I'm sitting here and should have had in my brain the fact that Brian has right on here, June 10th is a presentation by V-Trans.
For the 2029.
Yeah, see, I'm not so sure that's the night that we're gonna be able to sit in there and really work out with the village our
Yeah.
concerns.
2 long items, right?
2 long items plus, yeah, I got a feeling that they may have some other people there to talk about the 2029, but I think ours is important, and I don't know if there's any way the village could move that V-Trans.
Or could we move them to our second meeting in June, here?
That's pretty close to.
Because that B-train thing is a big deal, you know, we gotta do.
Bill said that should only be about 20 minutes on that, but you get this, if you
It
get
isn't
people
really
there,
a
they're
public
gonna
hearing
do-
they're announcing it as, right? It's just the V-Trans proposal.
Proposal, what they're gonna do.
At their regular meeting.
In a regular meeting, in their regular meeting.
Right.
I think they're gonna, some people will show up.
I would imagine if they read the
Yeah.
agenda, but, I don't really wanna wait till our second meeting though. If they agree with the police coverage, you know, they've gotta line up people to do the extra coverage, the more time they
Well,
have to do that.
no, what I'm saying is, yes, let's do the bridge thing, cause that's coming and we gotta get that done, but we could have them come to discuss what we're talking about now,
Oh.
about promoting Swanton. Cause that deserves some time and, you know, shouldn't be pressed against another issue as, and this bridge is important because you have the people, and I know,
Yep.
you know, so we gotta try to do what we can.
All right, so at our first meeting in June, we'll look at
Yes,
the talking points.
Yep, we'll
And
get-
what we're trying to accomplish, but we won't propose it.
on the
till-
10th,
Right.
we'll wait.
See if we can get one or two of the village to come to our meeting. Doesn't have to be the whole,
On the
doesn't have to be a joint meeting.
No, but I think
I mean,
all the trustees, I would definitely invite them all, and the village president and the village manager, I think they're all important players in this, and, you know, at least for initially, who ends up being, you know, part of it, if they agree to it, doesn't make any difference, but I think at the beginning, everybody should be here.
No, we can invite them and then
Yeah.
we can decide. I mean, just like we could have all the board members at their 10th meeting and we warn it, but it's not necessarily a joint meeting, we just warn the
Yeah.
fact we're there to talk to them
Yeah.
about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Is that all clear?
I think so. Yeah.
So,
All right,
so you wanna shoot for this at our second meeting in June?
for the discussion of promoting Swan,
Yeah.
we prep a little bit
Yeah.
on the 4th.
Yep, okay.
And,
And
but the
then
10th is, we definitely want,
the 18th would be
Invite
The-
them.
the
The full-blown-
invitation to,
presentation
Yes,
of this.
yes.
okay. But the 10th, we definitely want to get on their agenda to discuss
Yeah.
our concerns with the bridge
With the
closure.
bridge,
and the
temporary
impact on-
closure.
Yes,
Yeah, temporary.
So they should be reading between the lines at that point, because if we're concerned about a temporary closure, and if they were planning to doing that a year, you know, down the road, you know, maybe
Wow.
10 years for a full year.
in some ways it actually would help for AOT to hear the concerns.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Yeah,
And just so you know, the school revote was on June 18th.
yeah, that's another conflict.
Should we move our meeting? I mean, we could do it, we could do it on a Monday, I mean, just because of the election. Is that what?
Because I would think it,
That's order night too, they had no orders.
what's that?
That's all right, Christina said she'd do it for me. I'll be at the polls from
Because Brian
6
and I will be
until,
here, I'll do the polls in the morning.
probably
for her.
6 to at least 8.
I think we should, if everyone's good with it, I think we should move it because
I think so too, I mean,
with the voting going on, it's
Yeah.
just,
It's so important that
the
everyone gets
attendance
out
and
there and
everything
votes.
else is just not
Yeah.
gonna be what we want
What do you wanna move it to?
Monday, the
17th?
Monday before. Yeah,
17th.
Okay.
yeah.
So that'll be considered a
Make it a
special
short meeting, because I have to be up and here. by
We'll
6
let
o'clock.
you can.
Does that
leave after
conflict with the
order.
trustees meeting?
Okay.
No, there should be the 24th.
Theirs would be the 24th, or should be.
Yeah.
I can't see June so far away.
Oh, really?
No, I mean on the picture.
So
Okay.
do the 4th and the 17th.
Yes, if everyone's good with that.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. If
Yeah.
they get the school.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
Too much in one day to.
I saw it rescheduled, but the date didn't.
Okay,
Kathy, just give me.
anything else on those topics? Brian, do you have anything to add on the presentation, or you just let us know it's taking place?
Just that it was taking place, that was it, and you're welcome to come, but I guess we are gonna go, so that's fine.
I think on the 4th, we talk about it, and we encourage all board members to be at the 10th to
On the
discuss
10th to
this
discuss,
project. And
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
just gonna warn that we're all gonna be there.
Yeah, and I'll let them know that we're gonna be,
And
Yeah.
you talking with Bill can,
Yeah.
lay the groundwork a little bit of what
Yeah.
our concerns, and it won't surprise me, Bill will probably be watching this meeting, so.
oh, he will be.
During
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah,
Yep, so just wanna work and make it work,
Yeah.
wanna work ahead and make this work for everybody, so, okay. Highgate Road Speed Study.
so in the packet is the Highgate Road Speed Study. This was as a result of the school bus stops and getting the school bus stop signs set up at the two intersections, the two developments. And in the course of that conversation, I had requested a speed study be done. And of course, that was back in the winter, and so they said they had to wait till the spring, and so they did those. And you've got quite a few pages of data, but I would refer you back to what they saw in, or what they summarize in the cover email that came with that. When I saw the speed study, I wasn't surprised at their suggestion, I'll put it that way.
Yes, the thing I find frustrating is, okay, so they're saying traffic 85 percentile is in the 50 to mid 50.
Yeah.
I think what we're saying is 50's too fast,
All right.
you know? So they're saying, well, we've got it posted for 50, people are kind of obeying it, so we're okay with it. And I think our take is it should be slowed down. I don't know what other board members think, but that's,
Well, that is a state highway, right?
It is. Yep.
We can request them to reduce the speed limit.
and I didn't know.
I
if
don't
we
have a
had-
problem doing that.
Yeah, and I don't know if we had originally ever asked them to, or we just asked.
No, we asked for this study.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if everyone's in agreement, we send a note and say, look, that road with all the bus traffic and everything else, we think
50's
50's
too much. Yeah.
I mean, at least in that area, if you're coming up Woods Hill, and then you turn left on the 207. From
Yes.
there, all the way, the other side, well, there's
Not
some
so-
stretches
not so
in there,
bad,
it's
yeah.
not so bad, you know, the houses are a little farther apart, but they got some developments there
Yeah,
on the other side, and I think it's justifiable to lower the speed limit through that area.
yeah.
And I believe we ought to make the request. You know,
Thank them for the study, but.
Yeah.
We're glad to hear that people overall are, near the 50 plus, mid 50s, but our concern, we think it should be.
because actually went through there not too long ago, Saturday night actually on a freaking tractor. And the site, I mean, when you come over that hill, if you're coming from Highgate headed towards St. Albans, where that development, I think Paquette did it, but, there's a bunch of houses, it would be on the right-hand side. if you're-
Glenridge.
Yeah. There's not a lot of space there, and if you come whipping around that hill and that bus is right there, I can see why people are concerned, there's no question about it. If we were gonna make a request to the state, send them letters we got from the residents up there with their concerns, and see if we can get them to do something. No guarantee, but it's worth trying.
I think it's worth going on record.
I agree completely. I've just recently gotten more complaints about speed, especially during those bus hours on that road.
Well, then we would, as a board, we probably should make a motion that we were gonna request a speed change, a reduction in speed, the speed limit on Woods Hill.
Are you making that motion?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that then.
Motion's been made and seconded to send a letter to AOT requesting to reduce the speed on Woods Hill Road, but 207 down to 40 miles an
Yeah.
hour due to safety concerns.
At least in that section there.
I say we start out big.
Big, okay.
Ask
I
for
mean,
it.
that's my recommendation.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Historical Society brainstorm
Yeah.
idea.
I got a email, actually I will pass it out here, from Jay Barney, if you take one and pass it down. The rest should be- Everybody's got one? Okay. So, I mean, they're not asking for any funding or anything of that nature, but Jason sent me this email. They have a younger member who is actually still a high school student, Mason Landry, and he was wondering if there was any potential, or the possibility that the Ron Kilburn Park there at the depot might receive a little more attention in the future if it appears the numbers are up and people are using the bridge and it's a wonderful spot. So his idea is to, as the Historical Society pays for some renovations on the old toll bridge in the caboose, if it would be agreeable to the town to consider placing a couple of picnic tables and a kiddie play set on that property. And the play set would possibly be train theme, a railroad theme to it. They did have picnic tables there at one point, but they were damaged, but he kind of liked the idea. And he's just running it by the board just to see what your thoughts are. I think it's a good idea. My concern, of course, is naturally vandalism. But I do know that if somebody shops around and whoever would purchase this stuff, there are what are called vandal-proof picnic tables and things of that nature. It'd be a little costly, but just looking for input from the board at this time.
And up at the town garage several years ago, I think I was still on the board, so 4 years ago or so, I think it was the chamber asked if we could take picnic tables up there and store them for them. They haven't moved since.
Oh, they're there.
So there'd be some that would be expendable. If the chamber was agreeable, we might get picnic tables
Don't they
quickly
get
and
put out
easily.
For the car show?
I think, I know they used
No,
to
I
have
think they
picnic.
had them on their little, didn't they have them over at their little building?
It might have been
outside?
before Ace, came
Yeah, I
in, something,
think
I
so.
I just remember him
There's
asking
a
me, and I
couple
checked
of
with
them.
Kevin, we had some room underneath. So there might be some right there, you could ask Jason if you wanted to
Yeah.
contact Adam and see, some picnic tables, and I don't know how other board members, but if they came up with some kids thing that was train oriented, that might be something we use, just a little bit of the special funds if it wasn't too crazy in cost, but, I don't even need to throw that out yet, but that's a possibility to just make that a little better down there, right? I think that'd be,
Yeah, I
kids
think,
running around and
Yeah.
entertain them a little bit.
I think what they're just looking for is, do you think this is a good idea, or should you just shelve it, or whatever, but.
Yeah, right now, I would say concept wise, I'm okay with them looking into some stuff.
No,
Right.
because this is gonna fit, some of this is, this historical society and that railroad depot is one of the things that would,
Promoting
Yeah,
Swanton.
promoting Swanton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so we may have to make it look a little, and maybe put in some kind of
Something to
descriptive
do.
case in there where you can read some history,
Yeah.
like you see in
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
communities, yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
expenditures,
Yeah.
that stuff.
It's a good idea to have tables, because when we go
Right.
there walking or biking, there's always
Yeah.
families doing tailgating because they have no place to sit, so
Yeah.
it would be nice to have
Yeah.
a few
And
places.
For sure.
We utilize it with the rec department every summer, twice a
Yeah.
week. The kids love going down there to look at things.
Okay,
I think we're getting the unanimous,
yeah, so I'll tell him proceed, I'll
Oh, yeah.
check with,
You can tell them we got more work lined up.
I'll check with Adam about those
that's
tables, and I'll
Yeah.
check with Kevin, make sure that there must be still be.
oh yeah, I saw them there the other day, they're still leaning up
You
against
want to turn it
the.
and show Joel?
You can also look into like the Amish building stuff too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, see something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's an accurate price delivered here, but there's places that build that around.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Alberg, there's over in northern New York.
Oh, yeah. the
Yeah,
bucket
put some
really
mulch
cute.
around it, or the ground rubber tires
Yeah.
that fall that, yeah. I mean,
That's really cute.
Yeah, so, okay.
Actually, though, that's made out of wood,
Yeah, they're made by the Amish.
gotta be something that's not flammable.
Could be non-flammable.
And I
Yeah.
think
Okay,
we're,
item number 7,
Okay.
community and economic development, you talked about the Johnstown party, anything else you want to add on that?
I have some notes, and I'd love to make everyone copies if they'd like to have it. Like, we are planning a block party. Everybody's invited to come. I think it could be a great, again, usage of money to help celebrate all of our community and support our downtown businesses.
Something to
Yeah,
look at on
especially,
the-
especially at that time.
Yeah, that's, I like that idea. Then, yeah, we could, June meeting, we could
By then, I'll have.
ask a little more
to make-
information and
yeah.
and make a rec, as far as any funding or something. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be great.
it's, when St. Albans had the Kingman Fest, And my wife and I went out to Jet Seafood for our anniversary that night, even though it was raining, but there was a crowd of people still there.
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
rain.
saw.
Right, big group, and I'm thinking, well, we could be doing something like that.
So that's what Cornfest is, we've
Yeah.
worked with the organizers of Kingman Fest, you know, this is just another opportunity for community
Yep.
engagement. There are going to be a lot of events happening in the Village Green this summer,
Yeah,
so
so, yeah.
I'll go over that when I do all the other events.
Okay, sounds good. Any other necessary business?
Well, I got just the first quarter profit and loss from the library, it's a draft, they sent it, so I'll pass this around. So I can take one and pass the rest down. I mean, they're showing a loss at this point, but that's to be expected because there's expenses, but,
Have they used any of their, funds from their,
trust fund,
trust funds? They haven't used any yet, and it's,
income, cash, I don't,
Got some nice interest for income from it.
yeah. Yeah, they got income from the trust, but, I don't see where they've used any at this point.
they got grant money already this year.
So they're saying total expenses is 30,000. Total income, yeah, you can't really
25.
call that gross. I guess you call it gross, I don't know. It's total income of 25,194.
Right.
They spent around 30,000, so I
Right.
guess what they are using from the trust fund is their interest.
Right,
Yeah,
The way they're
Yeah.
showing it here
Yeah.
is
right.
is income.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's,
The only thing I can see, this is something must have come off from, QuickBooks or something like that. It doesn't show what was budgeted. But this is
Right.
at least now they know what they,
that's
so
right.
it's a big improvement.
Yeah.
This is a big improvement. What do you think, Kathy?
I think they should still be watching their budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They should still have their budget numbers.
Yes, they should, but at least this is better than what we were getting before, don't you think so?
Yeah, I do.
That would be the only area that you know, that you should meet with them and say, hey, you know, because it's a town thing. You know, I mean, they're going way over budget on one thing, there's no way of telling quickly without.
yep.
So, help me out here on the maintenance.
That's hard. Oh, they have some maintenance though,
They
don't
do
they?
some
Yeah,
maintenance.
Yeah.
Cause they have building maintenance of 2,500. That was the price of that pump and everything, but that was under, our
No,
general orders.
I wouldn't think they paid for that.
No, they
pump.
didn't pay for the pump.
No, they didn't.
Right, so they got capital, or, looks like they expended some out of their capital reserve and, building maintenance. Actually, I guess building maintenance $92, capital
So
reserve
6,300.
2,500.
Do you know anything they put
Maybe
over
they,
there? in
they
the
pushed the
top-
money into the
top?
capital reserve.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, looks
They
like it,
expended, they put money in the capital reserve.
okay.
So, building maintenance is $92.09, it's not
Yeah.
a big item.
Yeah,
And
so-
then, the rest is cleaning and recycling, rubbish removal.
Okay. No, what to say, we gotta start.
Yep.
starting point.
Yep.
Okay,
You want that attached to the minutes, that report?
That'd be good,
Yes.
yep.
that'd be good.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we got, that's all
All right,
I
any
have for
other
now.
correspondence that you,
No,
Okay.
just, what I need to talk about, community and economic development in the executive session, and then I do have real estate and personnel.
yep, and as far as public comment, I don't see anybody logged in, is there up there?
No.
Okay, so,
No.
no other public here, upcoming events, please, Nicole?
Upcoming events, Thursday, May 23rd, 2024, the DRB will be meeting in this very office at 6 PM. Saturday, May 25th, 2024. Please help us put flags out for the veterans, 9 AM. Volunteers are asked to meet here at the town office. They are needed and appreciated. Again, that is 9 AM. Saturday, May 25th and Sunday, May 26th, the Abenaki of the Missisquoi Heritage Festival will be happening at Swanton Rec Fields from 12 to 5. They've been working very hard, and please come out and check out what's going on. Monday, May 27th, 2024 will be Memorial Day. The town offices and operations will be closed, but at 2 PM on Monday, May 27th, there will be a Memorial Day parade happening down Grand Avenue. Great time for everybody. Saturday, June 1st, 2024 will be the takedown of the flags for the veterans at 9 AM. Volunteers again needed and much appreciated. Tuesday, June 4th, 2024 will be a regular select board meeting at 6 PM. Also to note, June 18th will be the school revote. Please come out and vote for your school budget. Also, to add to that, we have some dates for the markets in the green. That will be happening on June 19th, July 17th, and then a flea market style market on August 21st. So make sure you get those in your calendar now. Also, the town-wide yard sale will be taking place on May 25th. The map for all of the registered yard sales will come out tomorrow. You can find that on Swanton Rec's webpage and or Facebook page.
That it?
For right now.
Okay. Before we go into executive session, under public comment, I did want to just, for the record, thank the members of the Swanton Enhancement Project Beautification Committee that on Saturday, 2 weeks ago, they prepped for planting last Saturday, and they had over 800 4-inch pots that they put down in one day, and they were moving out there. And then you can see out in front of this building what they've done.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
So
nice.
so hats off to those folks for what they do to make Swanton look nicer. All right, executive session, down here it says contract, but it'd be real estate personnel, if you could, please.
I move that we find that we enter executive session for the select board to receive confidential real estate and personnel information for which the premature disclosure of it to the general public would clearly place the select board and others at a substantial disadvantage.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I move that based on our just made findings that we now enter executive session.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? So moved. We're now in executive session at 7:29.
I'll move that we, exit executive session.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded to exit executive session at 8 o'clock. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? So moved.
Alright, you wanna go first, or you wanna do the land or the payroll?
Go ahead, let's do the payroll.
I will make a motion to increase the wages for the administrative assistant as discussed in executive session
Which have to
with a
be-
dollar amount to
Yeah.
$22.50.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded to raise the wages of the administrative assistant to $22.50. Any further discussion? Yes, the only thing I'd like to say is very favorable report we received from your boss, and thank you very much.
Thank you for all that you do for our community.
If there's no other further discussion, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
So moved. All right, Earl?
Okay, the other issue discussing real estate in the executive session has to do with what was known as the I'll just call it the church property, located next to MVU, and this was part of the, agreement between, I guess, the different districts, that there might be the potential for religious, education on that site, but it never happened. And the land technically is taxable land, ended up on the, in a tax sale. So the town ended up buying it, and one of the main reasons, is we have a garage there that we would like to have some more land added to, because actually we're using land we don't own there. The school, MVU, high school, has a issue because they accidentally put their road on property they don't own. It's property that's owned, that church property. Right now, there's the other adjacent property owner, Brian Rao. We met with him, with the school. We're basically gonna end up adding 3/4 of an acre to the town garage. The school is gonna net out, if I remember correctly, about 1.75 acres, which is, oops, right there in front of me. Oh, less than that, 1.29 acres, but their road, their batting cage facility will be owned by them, it'll be their property, and plus they're gaining some buffer along that road too, which, you know, will be helpful for the future if there's any development out in that area. The town is gonna net, 3/4 of an acre, and then Brian Rao, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, is going to give 0.2 acres to the school, so the school is gonna end up with about 1.5 acres. And then Brian Rao is gonna end up with the majority of it, because he's getting the 3.6 from the town, but then he has to take off what he's given to the school. It's the only, way that we can see to get this land off the books as far as the town owning it. And the school will have what it needs, and there'll be more land in that area that we'll probably see future development. Basically, we're gonna get it back on the grand list. And so this is the agreement that we come to between all the parties. We're gonna share in the cost of doing all the surveying work. Everybody seems to be agreeable to it. Everybody benefits, gains something. Doesn't happen very often like that. So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this draft letter of agreement, authorizing Brian Savage, our town administrator, to sign it, contingent upon Brian Rao's approval of the letters. Any changes that coming from Brian will have to be reviewed by the board.
And I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the letter of agreement, and for Brian Savage to sign it, contingent as stated by Earl. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right,
That's it.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded, adjourned at 8:05. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right.
Just